Hey everybody, Lisa here with Getaway Crochet. Welcome to my channel. This is brand new to me. I've never done recording, never done streaming before, but I wanted to kind of provide a getaway, as you will, to craft. Take some downtime for yourself. Do what you love to do. Just take some time and do that to get away from the stresses of the world, from all the busyness, the bustle, the hustle, the insanity, the chaos, everything, and just kind of unwind with crochet or whatever craft you want to do. That is the goal of Getaway Crochet, so you can get away from the stress, from life, from craziness. So anyway, we'll just jump right in. I'm Lisa. I live in North Dakota. I have a husband and 2 dogs, which will probably make an appearance on this channel occasionally. I love to crochet. I have been crocheting since I was 10 years old, which has been about 20 some years. Yes, I just realized how I aged myself. Okay. Anyway, I feel old. Sorry. So, I am almost all completely self-taught. My mom used to crochet. She learned from a friend, and I learned a basic single crochet stitch from her. She didn't know how to do edges, she didn't know how to do corners, like things like that. No circles, she knew this one stitch and that was it. She taught me the one stitch. I kind of branched out from that stitch. I used to look at photos of stuff. It was pretty much trial and error for me learning because we didn't have internet growing up. We had books. We didn't have Pinterest, we didn't have anything like that. We had books growing up. Crochet books, which, looking back, like the crochet books that you can get now in stores versus the ones that I was reading, I look back now at those and I'm like, how did I even read those? Because I don't understand. After reading the new lingo that they have, the way that they write crochet now compared to the way that they used to write it is completely confusing. So anyway, I'm self-taught, trial and error. Didn't really do a whole lot of reading patterns. I could muddle through it. Like I said, it was difficult to read. But I figured it out, and it's just blossomed into a business for me. I love to do it. I do craft shows in the city where we live. I don't do a whole lot of traveling for my crochet, but maybe in the future I will. And I wanted to start doing a channel, just kind of like a crochet getaway time for people to just kind of sit and do their craft. I won't be crocheting today. I'll choose a day to do that with you guys. Today I just kind of wanted to welcome you to the channel, explain kind of what my background is, explain kind of what the plan is for the show. So as regards to the channel, I won't be doing a whole lot of tutorials. I'm not a huge person on here's how to do this stitch. I mean, you could probably, there are going to be times where I probably do show you how to do a stitch my way. I'm not saying my way is completely correct. I mean, there's so many ways to do a stitch based on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of them. Pinterest has a lot of them. Ravelry.com has a lot of them. So I'm not going to focus solely on tutorials. I probably won't do a ton of those. I do want to focus on just kind of setting aside time for crocheting while chatting with you guys. That's kind of the goal of the show. I also will probably be doing some yarn shopping. I don't think we'll be able to record that. My husband might be able to, but we'll see when that comes. But the plan is that I will show you my yarn hauls when I get done shopping. And I plan on organizing this yarn closet behind me, which you can only see half of, but I plan on showing you the whole thing and organizing that with you guys. And I would hope to get some good suggestions because I love organizing. I just always like to look for new suggestions, and I'm sure you guys will give me some. So anyway, that's the yarn closet. That's most of my yarn, not all of it. I do have some over here. We'll see if I can pan over. Yep, I got some more over there. And then there's a bunch down by my feet, which we're not going to look down there. It's kind of a disaster, so we're just going to not do that right now. But you will see it at another time when I'm brave enough to show you. Which will probably be sooner rather than later because my closet's bothering me and I need to organize it. And I will be bringing down more yarn from upstairs, which is taking over the living room. I recently went to Michael's looking for yarn for another project and ended up finding this chunky, like super chunky, soft blanket kind of, it's called Heather. It's heathered yarn. It's Loops and Threads brand. It's on clearance right now at Michael's for $5 a skein. These normally go $10 to $11 a skein. It's on sale for half off. Let's just say that I got a little carried away. I saw that yarn and I thought, I've never worked with it. I want to go outside my comfort zone. It's not a yarn. I usually don't like to work with big yarn, but I I went outside my comfort zone and I filled a cart full of this yarn. Actually, I think it was more than full. I think my mom was with me. We were buying yarn for her blanket that she wants to make me to make, and she ended up carrying some of it to the checkout. So, yeah, I got a little carried away. But that happens. It's okay. I don't usually do that. When I go to a store to do some yarn shopping, I buy 1, 2, 5, not a huge amount of skeins. I don't normally fill carts. That's a very rare occurrence. But it is known to happen occasionally. So I will be sharing those yarn hauls with you. We will be doing, like I said, some organizing. We'll be talking about some different projects that I want to work on while crocheting with everybody. Right now, I can tell you kind of what project I'm working on. I'm like I said, I'm into pillows right now due to me buying all this big chunky yarn. So after my mom saw my first pillow, she fell in love. But none of the colors that I had bought with a chunky yarn were the colors of her house, her living room where she wants these pillows. So I said, well, I have chunky yarn that I got a couple years ago that I haven't used. I have an off-white that would go good in your living room. And she goes, absolutely. So here is the project that I'm currently working on. I'm finishing it. I already got one pillow done, which I will show you when I'm completely done with them. And I'm working on this other one. So I'm using, the yarn I'm using is Woolies, Thick and Quick Lion brand yarn. This skein, this is this is size 6. Yep, size 6. It's 20, it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. It's a very warm, very soft. I love acrylic yarn. I mostly work with acrylic. Very rarely do I work with complete 100% wool. I do work with small amounts of wool, but like this. So I'm using this yarn to make her pillow covers that are going to go over 2 pillows that she doesn't like anymore, that she just wants to kind of cover up. So right now, using this yarn, I have gotten half of a pillowcase done. This is just a basic single crochet rib stitch, which means it's crocheted in the back loops only, which I can show you how to do at a later time if that's something that anybody's interested in. You can just message me. Just leave a comment in the box down below, and I'm gonna read comments and everything, and I'll get answers to your guys' questions if I know them. Like I said, I'm not saying I know everything about crochet. I've been doing it a long time, but again, I'm self-taught. So just bear in mind, I kind of do what I do, and I don't really have a plan. I just kind of go for it and hope it turns out all right, and generally does. Or I'll change my mind in the middle of it and make it something completely different. I just don't know. But anyway, so this fun story behind this yarn. This is very exciting. So apparently January in North Dakota, I don't know if that's the same for every place, but in North Dakota where I live, they have huge yarn sales. I think they're trying to liquidate all of their last year's yarn, and they're trying to get the new stuff going. So 2 years ago, my husband was out of town, thank goodness. He didn't see this happening. So I went to Michael's, I was kind of bored. I just needed to kind of get out of the house, needed some inspiration to kind of hit me. So I kind of went to Michael's, just kind of looking around, didn't plan on buying anything. So yeah, well, I ended up buying a few skeins of this. I made 3 or 4 trips, yes. I did. I made 3 or 4 trips. It was bad. It was bad. But it was totally worth it. So I bought probably 30 or 40 skeins. I went back, I think, 3 times that Saturday and then twice. So that would be about 5 trips. Twice the next day. And I pretty much cleaned them out of this chunky yarn. I got more colors than this off-white. I got blues and apple reds and grays and black, and I'll show you at some point because I have not used them all up by any means. I had no plan for them when I bought them, which is pretty much generally what I do. I don't usually have a plan for something when I buy it. If I like it, it's going in my cart. And then later on I figure out what I'm going to do with it. Very rarely do I when I go yarn shopping, do I have a plan. I go to buy yarn that I like, buy yarn for ideas, but I never 100% know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, there are times when I'm working on a project and I have to go get another skein. Okay, well, that's something, but it's not generally how it works. So anyway, I don't really have plans for my yarn when I buy it generally. And that's why most of it's just sitting in my closet. So yeah, there's that. I'm so bad. But I know I'm not the only one. I know that if you are a crocheter or a knitter, you have a yarn hoard. And it's okay to have a yarn hoard. I think. Well, I keep telling myself it is. I'm pretty sure my husband doesn't think it is, but he just lets me keep buying yarn. You know, I'm sure till the day when, I push him out of the office with the yarn amounts, or he's no longer able to fit in the house because there's too much yarn. Maybe then we'll have a conversation about how much yarn I actually need and how much I want. But as of right now, we're okay still. So anyway, behind me is the yarn stash. I can move so you can get a better look of it. Let me just get out of here on this chair here. This is a baby blanket I just finished with scrap yarn. But yeah, this is half the closet. I got some chunky cakes. That was on sale in January. I think last year or 2 years ago probably. I couldn't tell you when I bought all of my yarn. I do a lot of so yeah, that's the yarn, half the yarn stash there. I do a lot of yarn shopping at Hobby Lobby. They have I don't know if Hobby Lobby is in every state. They have one in they have a few in North Dakota. They have a sale on 30% off yarn every other week. And so needless to say, there's a lot of that going on. Hobby Lobby, Joann's, and Michael's. Clearly, Michael's lately because they have clearance. Hobby Lobby doesn't have a ton of clearance, but occasionally they do. And Joann generally doesn't have a lot of clearance, but Michael's usually likes to clearance a lot of their yarn off at the beginning of the year, so that's the best time to go shopping. And my mom likes to take me shopping in January. So, there will be more yarn shopping this year. Probably in a week or so. So I better start using up what I have and make room for more, right? So anyway, I just wanted to kind of welcome you to my channel, explain what the channel's, gonna entail. There's gonna be more information about the channel on each stream that I do. I'm gonna be coming up with different ideas. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Comment on them, okay? Because I want to take into consideration things that you guys want to see too. So, but that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me at Getaway Crochet, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!